As China is the country where COVID-19 firstly emerged, the government has kept very strict epidemic spread prevention and control measures, especially towards personnel and goods from foreign countries. For example, travelers from foreign countries have to honestly report health information and receive 14-day quarantines and nucleic acid detections. Since June, coronavirus has been detected on a number of imported cold chain foods such as meat and seafood. In June, after 56 consecutive days of no new local confirmed COVID-19 cases in Beijing, local infection cases reappeared and the source of the cases was traced to the seafood area in an agricultural wholesale market where frozen salmon was sold. In July, Dalian Customs detected positive nucleic acid of COVID-19 in a sample of the inner wall of a container loaded with frozen shrimp produced in Ecuador and 3 samples of the outer packaging of the shrimp. Later in the same month, staff in the seafood processing workshop of a local seafood company were reported to be infected with COVID-19. In September, 2 cold chain product handlers in Qingdao were diagnosed as having asymptomatic COVID-19 infections during a routine nucleic acid detection. The live virus was detected from samples of imported frozen cod packaging, which suggested that COVID-19 is possible to be carried by the long-distance cross-border import of cold chain goods. Up to date, cases of positive nucleic acid detections on imported cold chain foods or packaging have been reported in more than 10 provinces. In response, the government strengthened imported food trade control and quarantine measures. For example, exporters of meat, dairy products, or other food products are obliged to promise that their products are not contaminated by COVID-19 and comply with applicable Chinese law and international guidelines. The customs has suspended the import of cold chain food products from nearly 200 manufacturers in 20 countries where COVID-19 is massively breaking out. The customs is also exercising more frequent nucleic acid sampling and detections on imported goods. If imported goods or their packaging of the same enterprise show positive results 2 or more times, the customs will suspend receiving importation declaration from that enterprise for a maximum of 4 weeks. Once a positive COVID-19 result is reported, the authority will immediately trace, investigate, and control the imported food and contacted persons. In addition, all imported cold chain products are subject to preventive disinfection of containers and outer packaging. Enterprises and personnel handling imported cold chain products are also subject to periodic sampling and nucleic acid detections. Hence, besides regular certificates and paperwork, imported cold chain foods have to go through the nucleic acid testing and disinfection treatment and obtaining corresponding certificates before being placed on the Chinese market. To better implement the rule, the government requires traceability of imported cold chain foods. Importers must truthfully report all relevant information on storage, logistics, and flow direction to a traceability system maintained by the government. Enterprises involved in the transportation, storage, processing, packaging, and sales of imported cold chain food must also establish purchase accounts and wholesale sales accounts, and report the purchase and sales information into the governmental traceability system in a timely and accurate manner. Some cities, such as Shenzhen and Xiamen, require that imported cold chain foods entering that province to be firstly stored in designated warehouses, to prevent goods not undergone testing and disinfection from entering the market as well as to avoid duplicate testing and disinfection.